This is the Stockwell Roueche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roueche.
A to Z. We've got you covered from A to Z today. Steps in buying a home in the home buying process. We have a full house today with some awesome guests. You're not going to want to miss the show. We have Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance.
Hi, Ben.
Hey, Jeff.
Robin Hartle with Robin Hartle Design and Style. I always forget the style because she's very stylish. And we have Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, and we're giving you tools and resources as a home buyer on how to get a loan. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Stockwell Roueche Show every Sunday, 10 a.m. right here on AM 1280 The Patriot. And there's a lot going on in the real estate world and a lot going on outside of the real estate world, but we're focused on real estate, and it's very good. Positive news we have. So we start off with a market update of what's going on and in the lending and in the real estate world. So, Josh,
all right.
what's happening?
Well, let's start out. I know my team's been busy. Your team's been busy. We're seeing actually pick up from July, end of July. July is usually one of those slower months. I don't know why it is in Minnesota, but it really is. July has been very slow over the last years. But we're seeing listings. We're at new listings on the market, 1.2% increase from where we were at last year. And then pending sales, we're at 21.3%, and pending sales up from where we were at last year.
Increase. Wow.
And then the inventory is down 9.8%. So what do you see from that, Jason? I mean, when we talk about numbers and we're going through these every week, what does that tell you?
Same thing we've been saying for weeks. Pending sales are up from everything is better than last year. So the median sale price is higher than last year. We are still having higher, even more properties listed, but yet the pending sales are over 20% greater than last year. So they're selling, and they're selling quickly. Just got a call on the way in. Boom. Property on the market yesterday. Hey, I want to write an offer from an agent before I try to get in before anybody else does. So it's very, very active right now. If your house looks great and it is in a great, or if it's priced right and it's great. So
the median sales price too was at $229.9, where we were at last year. We're at $215.
Yes.
So we're seeing our market
tons and tons of good things happening.
More traditional market. Where REOs are not there anymore. We're back. We're back.
Yep. No, it's good. It's really good overall with the house sales and activity. It's just really, and rates. So Stephanie, with as far as mortgage and things like that, what are you seeing in the lending world right now? Is it crazy busy, or is things slowing down, or what's happening?
Actually, yeah, we are really busy right now, so it's been great. Rates are still reasonable for refinancing, but Wells Fargo recently did a survey on how America views home ownership, and kind of what you guys were just talking about. 75% of people agree that now is a good time to buy a home, and actually 67% of that survey, 2/3, feel that home ownership is an achievement to be proud of and a dream come true. And again, 15% of those respondents said that they're considering purchasing a home in the next 2 years.
Wow.
So those are really great results of surveys from Wells Fargo.
And that's, so what was that one about the 70-some% believe home ownership is...
75% of the people surveyed agree that now is a good time to buy a home.
Yeah, and you're seeing it. People are elated, and they're buying nice homes. They're buying homes that they're going to be in for a while. They're buying homes that are well taken care of. The days of, not too many people, they're still out there, some of the bank owns, but they're not buying, investors aren't, the investor market's really slowing down because there's nothing much to go after. So they're putting their resources elsewhere. So these people that have been waiting for a home are buying, and they're buying good ones, and they're going to be there a while. It's really, really, I think it's really great for the communities. It's great for everybody. Robin Hartle Design and Style. What are you seeing in market update and real estate and design, and are you doing design work for people too now?
Doing design work, still doing a lot of design work. And, I'm also in real estate. So, a lot of my real estate clients are coming to me for design work.
Yep.
So they're buying some fixer-uppers out there. And then they come to me and, for the help with the fixer-upper. I had a client that just bought a bank-owned home, but a really good deal on a bank-owned in St. Louis Park. So
So they're still out there. Those deals
They're
are still out there, just not as many as there were before.
She got a really good deal on it, and so now we're, gutting the whole inside and then, making it a really good property for her. But she got a really good deal on it. So whatever she puts into it, she'll be able to get back out of it. So that was one of the things that we really wanted to look for her to make sure that she wasn't whatever she bought, because she was looking for an ugly house. When she came to me, she said, "I want an ugly house. I want something that I can be able to fix up." And so she came to me with that requirement. And so, but we wanted to make sure that whatever ugly house she bought, she wasn't going to spend too much money on, because then the money that she put into it, she didn't want to. We wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to overinvest in.
Yep, and that's key, and that's why you want to talk to your agent and talk. You're listening to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
I'm Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
Every Sunday, 10 a.m. here on AM 1280, The Patriot. We have Stephanie Havel in studio at Wells Fargo. We have Robin Hartle with Robin Hartle Design and Style, who will do design work for you if you do buy one of these ugly houses, and she actually incorporates that into her service for her clients that she helps. Right, Robin?
Right.
It's awesome. It's
absolutely
great. Very valuable.
Well, and let's talk about we talk about the fixer-uppers and people want to get an ugly house. And Jason, you've been big in this industry for a long time as one of the big REO agents. For you, the listeners out there, there's not a lot of inventory anymore out there. That's why it's important to make sure that you're talking to someone that actually has these relationships still with some of these REO companies that are out there that are listing these. I know we talked about in the show in the past where Minnesota's like in the top 5 for the least amount of REO properties in the country. So I just want to make sure that our audience knows that, yes, there's still that diamond in the rough that you can still find, but it is coming back to a more traditional market, and they're a lot harder to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tricky, and you got to move on them very quickly because nothing goes away completely.
Right.
So there's still
gonna be there.
REO.
Yep.
There's still stuff
Right.
that happens. There's investors are down in their purchases, but they're still buying. They're buying deals. People are still
You're just not
investing.
buying at the quantities that they were buying before.
Exactly. You don't have
There
hedge
still
funds
are a
buying.
lot of the guys out there that are picking up a lot of these investment homes. I got one guy. He's picking
Well, cash is king.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's picking up 3 or 4 a week. but
Yep.
He's also using like Pine Financial, some of the hard money lenders we've talked about before.
Yeah, there's a lot. So there's a lot of that going on as well. So from a standpoint of, I'm gonna do one side note because I love talking about.
Well, we know you love talking.
I love talking. But Elliot Eisenberg, the guy that we had him on the show. He's out in D.C. right now. So all the political stuff that's going on, all that stuff, he's right in the Beltway. He knows exactly what's going on in politics. But he writes a Graphs and Laughs. So if you email him, Elliot, ELLIOT, at graphsandlaughs.net, he will put you on his email. He sends out an email a day, and it's 80 words or less on the economic news of the day. Now, this one was pretty cool. He recently sent out, it said, Rotten Revision.
It's a great title.
That was talking about the revised GDP that he had, and that one wasn't as good. They revised it, and it's not. The economy is not as good. It's not a good one. This one's better. Madoff money. So everybody remembers Bernie Madoff. So he said, over the past 6.5 years, trustee Irving Picard has recovered almost $11 billion of the $17 billion stolen by Bernie Madoff. So they got $11 billion of the 17. Not bad. But this work has been costly at $413.30 per hour, $413.30 per hour after a, quote, public interest discount of 10%. The 97,115.5 hours Picard team billed in just Q1 of 15 came to $40 million. The total spent from the attorneys to recover Madoff's money is over $700 million they've billed so far. So crazy story, but that's what's happening. 11 billion of the 17 billion back, but you know who always makes out?
The attorneys.
Always. You knew
Every
it,
time.
Robin. Always make
Every
out.
time.
So I'm only billing you
wrong
$413
industry.
an hour at a 10% discount because it's a public interest
Right.
matter, right? So it's crazy. 700 $700 million on one account. I could not imagine.
Yeah, I should have finished law school.
Wow.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's cool. So he
I'll just
always
go for
does
the
great
right thing.
stories. Elliot Eisenberg does awesome stories. So one other couple quick tidbits I wanted to chat about, and we'll probably get into this more on our shows about credit with Warren, our credit guy. But millennials, you millennials out there, I know a ton of you millennials listen to the radio show here on the Patriot. Joking. there's
Say, really?
but a lot of you that listen, that you're listening right now, know some millennials. They're your grandkids or your kids or your nieces and nephews or what have you. But maybe great grandchildren. Who knows? But anyway, the millennials have the lowest credit scores of all generations, and maybe Stephanie will be able to chime in on this. But millennials have now passed baby boomers as the lowest segment of the U.S. population in credit score. The national average is 667. Baby boomers have 709, and Generation X, which I believe is Josh and me,
Is this the average credit score?
average is 650, and millennials are 625.
Yikes.
So they're the
Those
lowest.
credit card companies getting them when they're in college.
Yeah, they are.
We talked about that before too.
Here, let me tell you something.
It just says that it's crucial to understand the influence of consumer segment of millennials and how to use credit as a tool compared to Generation X. The millennials have more student loans. It makes up 24% of their new accounts.
Wow,
for
that's
millennials.
interesting stats.
So, are you seeing that, Steph? I mean, is that something you guys watch and track at Wells Fargo with millennials and their ability to purchase and credit score? Or do you have something to help maybe say, hey, you're looking to buy and you're a millennial. What's happening with your score? Can we improve that and things like that?
Yeah, actually, we do. We have a free personalized financial coaching program. It's called My Home Roadmap. And basically,
Cool.
by enrolling in the My Home Roadmap program, consumers receive up to 4 free sessions, which is an estimated 2 hours, of personalized financial coaching with the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. They're certified counselors from NFCC member organization and without any obligation to Wells Fargo. So it's a really great program.
What is that called again? Can you get the website one more time?
Yeah, it's through My Home Roadmap. So you can go to wellsfargo.com and you can look it up. It's called My Home Roadmap.
My Home Roadmap. I love it. We'll have that on our Facebook
Yep.
and our website.
Yeah, and so the National Federation of Credit Counseling, they work with you one-on-one to design a confidential program that fits your specific needs. So the consumer has a choice between 2 counseling sessions, or they can do both if they want.
Nice.
So
I love it. That is awesome. So you get a free credit counselor or guidance when you're going. It's awesome for you millennials or the millennials you know. So spread the word on that. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
We'll be back with more information from A to Z.
A to Z.
Buying a home.
To be
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as slow, break me. ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me, girl.
Welcome back to the Stockwell Roueche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage
We
Plus.
left on break. We have we're talking A to Z on how to buy a home, a roadmap. We have Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo in studio here. And Stephanie, what is your title at Wells Fargo?
Branch manager.
Awesome. So we have a branch manager here, which
Sweet.
is great. We have Robin Hartle, who is Remax Results, and Robin Hartle Design and Style. And we have Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance here. So we're going to be talking about A to Z. And on break, we had a little joke. I said, hey, everybody, let's A to Z, there's 26 letters. There's 5 of us. If we all do 5 letters and we can come up with something, and we started going through them. Josh went through A, B, C. What did you come up with? Right?
Application, buy, and close. Let's
So
go.
we're done. We don't even need to
Always
we're done.
be closing.
Let's go.
Talk to you
That's
next
right.
week.
We do
Always be
ABC just like the song there from the Jackson 5. You don't even need to get to Z because you just application and you buy and you close. It's that simple.
It's simple. It's
That's
easy
why
to get along.
everybody, that's why we've got the easiest job in the world is realtors and lenders,
Yeah.
right? It's easy.
Exactly.
No, I was kidding.
Yeah, it's a breeze.
So A to Z, the roadmap. So let's talk about the roadmap. What is
Well, let's talk about it. Okay, so I'm a consumer. I'm
Yes.
sitting at home. All right, we've decided, it's time to get out of the apartment, or it's time to get rid of the house. We need to move up. Where do I go? How do we start? I'll tell you what, about 90, what is the statistics? Like 90% of people,
97, I think.
97 are looking online first, right?
Yeah.
So I guess as we get going through this A to Z process, I would suggest for you, the consumers out there, to make sure that you're using a site that's giving you updated information. I'm not here to bash any of these other sites that are out there, but a lot of them don't give you the updated information. And you're calling on houses that have already been sold.
Yep.
They're pending and pending
They'll
status.
say
that
they're
have already got-
foreclosed and they're not.
Right. So it's I think that's one of the biggest steps for our consumers that are looking to buy out there, our listeners. Let's find a site that works. That's going to give you
The site or sites. I mean, yeah. But make sure it's accurate and make
Right.
sure the good information is good.
Right.
Because there's a lot of market. I mean, it's what we do, right? Real
Right.
estate agents and
We market.
companies and everybody markets. So it's not that they're purposefully, probably trying to deceive you, but you have to make sure that it's valid information. So you can go to our Facebook page, the Stockwell Roueche Show, or you can go to tcrealestatehour.com, or you can call 651-400-0773, 651-400-0773.
Or you can even go to one of our sites we have.
Yes.
One of
You'll see that
my
on our
sites.
site.
Yep.
And you'll see our sites there. They're accurate, they're timely, and they're giving you the real-time information. And the other thing is talk to someone. I know people are, first step, from A step is, do some research online, but, and I know salespeople can scare you, and be intimidating or whatever it may be. But believe me, if you call any one of us, or realtors, or most realtors that I know and work with, or lenders, like Stephanie and her team and her branch, they're not trying to close you on the phone.
No.
What's happening is you're getting information. They're getting to meet you. Now you have a resource you can reach out to and ask a question of right away.
And even if you're not ready to buy right away, it's good to have a game plan.
Yes.
And that's why we talk. That's why it's good to reach out to one of us to help set you up so you have the best success when you're ready to go.
Yes, that is the first step, is to reach out. So, and then that would be part of the tools. So, Stephanie, I have a question for you. What type of tools are there?
So the next step after looking would be to probably see what you can afford. Reach out to a mortgage lender. Reach out to,
Yes.
get an application pulled. Find out if there's anything on your credit that needs to be fixed first.
Well, and we talk about
Right.
that. So talking about, online and access. So if I didn't get to say it before, the website is www.wellsfargo.com/myfirsthome. And
Nice.
it's really, it's an interactive, there's educational guides on the website, and it's designed to help you learn about home ownership in a fun and interactive way. So it's a free interactive experience. It provides an overview of what you need to do to become a successful homeowner. So the whole process actually takes about an hour, but what's great about it is you can start it and stop it at any time.
Right,
And
that's
so
kinda nice.
it really, exactly what we're talking about today, the whole A to Z process, it gives you all the little quick videos and slides you can watch, you can rewind and start over. And again, it's a free service. You can visit it by going to wellsfargo.com/myfirsthome.
My first home, and that'll give you part of the roadmap and the steps.
Not to say that me and Jason aren't fun or Robin, but that is a good start with those active sites that they have where it's more hands-on and you can
Well,
learn.
it prepares you
Right.
to what questions you should be asking
Right.
or what to know. So when the realtor is talking to you
Right.
about things,
Yes.
you know what to expect. You know what you're expecting and what you expect from your clients in the process.
Yep, and a lot of times it's easier to go online and search than it is to call someone. I get it. So, but it's okay to call. I'm just telling
Right.
you out there for anybody. It's okay to call or email anytime with questions. You're going to get
So
a
the next
good
step
answer. So
that we would go into would be after you're talking to the lender, you find out what you're pre-approved for. You find out what you can afford, what you're comfortable with, and that's
Yep.
when you reach out to a real estate agent. Correct?
you can reach out to a real estate agent anytime. You can reach out to
Anytime,
us
and we'll help point you in the way. But ideally, when we start going looking for homes, we kind of want to know what you can afford.
You want to know.
You want to know.
You would
we
want to
wanna-
know.
We
So,
want to know. You want to know. Everybody wants to know.
Yep. It helps the agent, but it also helps you. All this is about you. So
Yep.
it's about you, the consumer, buying. So Robin, in your scenario, in your case, when you're helping a buyer, working with a buyer, and they call and say, "Hey, Robin, I got your information from so and so had a great experience, and they referred me to you," or whatever the case may be. What do you do? Do you go through these steps first, or do you do an initial meeting right away, or what do you do with them right away?
Well, definitely, I talk to them about, what they're looking for, and in a home and their life situation. That really, helps to get a background about, how they're living now and what they're looking for
What their
in
end
goals
the
are.
future
I love it.
home.
Yeah.
Are they looking to, in the home that they have now, are they looking to expand into something bigger, and why? And are they expanding their family, and so on and so forth? But then, the pre-approval and that kind of thing, are they currently working with a lender and that kind of thing in that situation?
And you act as a guy. I've known Robin for a while now, and she's the former host of
Home time.
Home Time with
Dean Johnson.
Dean Johnson. I want to say Dean Martin, but I always mix that up.
I'm
But
glad you
Dean
know.
Johnson, Home Time, and so she's used to being in the media, and you're also on a spokesperson with Tim the Tool, not Tim the Tool Time, but Al, his sidekick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Robin is one of the most considerate, patient and very and genuine is the word I want to say, genuine as far as working with a buyer, because it's truly about what their needs are, and if it takes a month or if it takes 6 months,
Yeah.
Or a year.
or a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
year. Yeah.
it's
Sometimes it
all
lasts
about you, the client. It's all about your needs. So that's the type of questioning that you need to get. And that's a type of vibe. I shouldn't say, maybe vibe is a millennial word, I guess.
maybe.
But but for
you're
you
saying
folks
you're a
out there,
millennial.
vibe means feeling or the type of sense that you get, and you probably know that. But that's the type of feeling or sense that you should get from the person you're calling or reaching out to, is that they're there to help you. They can get back to you in a timely manner, and they can provide you with valuable information. And ideally, you set an appointment and just meet and see if it works out. No one's offended if everybody knows there's mixes and matches of people, and if you match, great. If you don't match, everybody understands. So it's just the way that in any business that it works. So that's the main step. Then pre-approval, which Stephanie, you guys can do.
Once you guys have that
Right away, right?
That's awesome, right? Once you have that, what happens?
Oh, yeah. We always encourage everybody to talk with a mortgage consultant and get pre-approved. So if you, and we have the other products, our renovation products. So if somebody is looking to buy that fixer-upper home, we have those options available as well. And it's just, and Josh, mentioned that you can stop in any Wells Fargo or go online, and we have consultants available to help answer those questions. And so I was just going to ask you, Robin, what trend are you seeing as far as fixer up, or what is the biggest? The kitchen, the bathroom, the bedrooms? What are you seeing most people are looking for?
Well, I think it really is the kitchen more than anything. But, a lot of people out there are looking at homes that are just a little bit outdated. But most of the time, it is the kitchen that is outdated more than anything. It's the kitchen cabinets that need and lighting. It's the lighting that needs a little bit of update. More than anything else in the house, and maybe the bathrooms. But I think that a lot of people don't invest. They'll invest a little bit in the bathroom because it doesn't take as much outlay to update a bathroom. So the seller will update the bathroom. They'll update a little bit, but it takes a lot more cash to update a kitchen.
That's a great point. So the seller, in preparation of selling their home, says, I got to update some things. It's less outlay to do. We'll do the bathroom, we'll do some other things, but that 20, 30, 40, 50,000 for the kitchen, we're going to hold off on that and let the buyer do that. That makes
and good lighting in the bathroom, right?
Yeah. yeah.
Cabinets and kitchens and countertops and lighting. That is, I would attest to that. That verify that is true, because a lot, especially in the parts of the cities that have the older homes, or people maybe have been in the home for a long, long time, and that's what you're seeing with the demographics. Is silver foxes, or what do we call it? The gray hair tsunami.
Wow.
Silver fox, gray hair tsunami, you name it. You're great. You're awesome, and we love you. And but you have homes that you've been in a long time, and you're maybe looking to make a move, and that's where we want to help, and that's where the buyers can buy them as is. We in the newspaper that we run, I put out a notice, and it's true that a lot of buyers are looking to buy the home as is.
Yep.
They don't want someone else picking the stuff. They want to have Robin or someone or themselves pick the items that they want. So that's a tip for you as a seller. But we'll be talking more about this process. We've got it through the initial phase,
pre-approval,
which is basically
That's P.
the huge.
Right.
So we went from
the
A
big
to
one.
P. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that's like now you've got
so much for
pre-approved.
ABC.
You've reached the mountaintop. right? Or one of the mountaintops. Then now the next step, which is actually easier.
And I actually just put a nice little video that Realtor.com did about the 5 steps of home buying process on our Facebook page. So take a look at that.
Awesome. So that's Stockwell Roueche Show on Facebook. We have Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo in-house, branch manager. Robin Hartle Design and Style. And Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance. And Ben is waiting to talk, so he'll be back soon. I'm Jason
Ben's coming up.
I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
We'll be back. Wow.
Love it. You were cutting a rug to this back in the day.
I think, Josh, you went to the concert a few times, didn't you?
Yeah. It was good times.
I know my sister Shauna, who's in Silverdale, Washington right now, was madly in love with whoever that was. Was that Backstreet or was that?
Was that New Kids on the Block or Back?
New Kids on the Block.
Kids?
Yeah, New Kids on the Block.
Mark Wahlberg,
So
and the boys, right?
that has taken us back. Yeah, that was. But step by step, they had a good idea. That's step by step. That's what we're going through.
I was watching Wahlburgers last night. That's how I kind of picked that up.
I love that. That's a great reminder of how far we've come. How far we have come. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roueche, RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Stockwell Roueche Show every Sunday at 10 a.m. here on The Patriot. You can go to the Stockwell Roueche Show on Facebook. Josh just put on an awesome information from someone from Realtor.com. Right?
Elizabeth Banks.
Banks.
She was in.
She's the Robin Hartle of today, basically, of the 2014 or 2015 Robin Hartle, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
She's in Hunger Games.
She's in Hunger
Yes,
Games.
thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
all
I did not know
anyway.
that. I did
so
not know
it's
that.
very close to Robin. Very close.
That's right.
Very similar.
Well, Robin, you know how to shoot, right?
Oh yeah, I'm actually an instructor, a firearms instructor.
She is.
You are a firearms
I'm a
instructor.
firearms
Conceal and carry,
instructor.
right?
Yep. Yep.
That is
My
awesome.
husband and I
cool.
hold concealed carry classes. We have a security business, so I'm a firearms instructor.
I got to put that on the website too. Where do you get the information on that concealed to carry? Is there a website they can go
we
to or an
talked about
email?
that on the
Yeah,
show before.
Peacekeepers. Yeah.
Peacekeepers.com.
Peacekeepers.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's an awesome one. Peacekeepers.com if you want to learn more about concealed carry.
Concealed carry
or
classes.
concealed carry because they're Robin.
I just held one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you
I
have
love
to
it.
have a gun? Like when you show up, do you
Yes.
have? Do you already have guns? that
Well,
people can
and
use to
you know,
practice?
with
Mace.
being a female real estate agent, yeah, well, I always want to make sure that
I think it's
I'm,
important,
yeah,
actually, to make sure to protect
protected.
yourselves, right?
Yeah.
So to do concealed carry class, you have to have a gun your own to come to the class with, right?
You don't have to. You can rent one of
Right.
ours. We have probably enough firearms to take over a small country.
So if you haven't noticed, Robin has about 5 business cards.
But
Yeah,
you can also buy from you if you guys find what you like.
We do have we do have a federal firearms license, so you can purchase from us as well.
Yes, and just a side note on that safety issue. On Facebook, there's a few realtor groups that I'm part of, and Ben started one. I know Ben Nelson with Farmers started one, and Josh, you're on a bunch of them. But they have it doesn't seem very often, but every month at least you hear of an issue of someone either getting robbed,
It just happened the other day in
harmed,
St. Paul.
or murdered. Right?
It just
As a
happened the
realtor?
other day in St. Paul. There was a big article about a guy got approached by a 16-year-old kid, tried to rob him, and the guy had a conceal and carry. And was scared.
Oh yeah, and got
yeah.
Yep.
So
And that was out in the public.
Yeah.
But I mean specifically to real estate, that can happen just as easily. They're
yeah.
taking
And you
advantage
teach
of realtors.
Absolutely.
Like, could this be like a girls' night? Girls'
Oh
event,
yeah,
right?
you could do a girls' night
boy.
concealed carry class.
No wine, girls.
There you go. Yeah.
Pictures of all of our ex-boyfriends.
Yes, that's what I was going to
Must be some
say.
good targets.
Yeah. So we have a
my
Real
class.
estate agents that we didn't like. Just kidding.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Okay,
Yeah, we have all kinds of fun targets.
I bet.
No, that's cool. So peacekeepers.com if you are interested in that. That's a side note, but that is actually valuable information for you out there. So from a standpoint of we're going to go back now
to the topic, pre-approval.
pre-approval.
We got a pre-approval. Yay, let's go.
A to Z steps in buying a home. We
just go
got
out and-
through
what's that mean?
pre-approval. And you have your search set up, you've reached out, and then
What's a pre-approval mean, Stephanie?
Well, basically, I mean, you've talked with your lender,
Right.
and we've reviewed just the steps. Basically, going over your information. We do like to get information about your work history, your credit history, and things like that. And but it's a detailed process that you
detailed
definitely want
process.
to meet with somebody in person about.
And
we
then
t-
you
and we
then
talked
you're ready
about
to
that
buy.
last week. We talked
Yep.
about what a difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification letter is,
Yep.
and what the steps are into that. So that's once you get that, that's like your golden ticket.
Yep.
That's like a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory golden ticket.
That means you can buy. So then you have Josh, myself, or one of our team members, or
Right.
Robin, get you out and looking when you're ready. Just know that at this time, we went over statistics earlier in the show, that when a house comes on that's good, and it can really take you aback as a buyer out there. If you're listening as a buyer, or if you know someone who's buying or who's lost out on one, it can really be a shock to you when you go out and you find one online and you call Rob and you call myself, you call Josh, you call someone, and you go look at it and you say, wow, that was nice. I might want that house. And then you sleep on it. And then you call us back the next day and say,
gone.
hey, I think I want to move forward. Yeah. And we go, okay, great, let's move forward. We'll contact the agent, make sure that it's available, and it's sold. And it can be disheartening, but and sometimes, buyers, you guys out there that are buying, or people that are buying, you have to go through that process
Yep.
to
You really do.
understand how quickly some of the homes can go and what to do and how to approach it. And even though your agent we may be telling you, hey, this one's going to go quick, you might want to, and it has multiples, you might want to go to this price, or we think you need to be here, and you're not quite comfortable with that, and then you lose out. And then after you lose out once, twice, or however many times, then you eventually will find one. So just know that most of the time your agents are not doing it to get a quick sale. We're not telling you, hey, or if you really want this one, and this is the one you can see yourself in, and you're in love with it, and you like it, and it's a perfect location, you should probably come in quickly, and you should do it here. We're not saying that because we want to close it quickly. We're saying it because we want you to get what you want.
We're in the trenches every day. We know exactly what's going on. We know that this market right now. We live in Minnesota. Let's not kid ourselves. We live in Minnesota.
We love it.
There's
and we love
only
it
a
here.
certain amount of time where we can really get out there and show you houses, and this time is now.
Right.
I mean, we've got the fall season coming up. When's it slow down? It slows down, about November, December? It starts
November,
to slow
December
down.
for sure, probably mid-October.
Maybe
but-
October.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they'll still sell. Houses will still
Yeah, they
year-round.
still sell.
But
But you're not getting the multiple offers like you are now, because everybody is out looking now. So this
most
is,
likely not. Yes.
Yes.
And so as a buyer, if we're doing it because we want you to get what you want. Now, if you tell Robin, and you say, hey, I like it. If I get it, I'll be happy. Great. That's different than I love it. I have to be here.
Right.
My friends live down the road, and this is the location that I've been dreaming of. Okay. Then you might be wanting to put in a little bit extra on your offer, and you might want to structure it differently. So those are some
and that's a good topic to talk about too, because most of the time I've been seeing in the marketplace right now, you have the listing price, right?
Right.
You have multiple offers that are coming in.
Yep.
Chances are, when you see the multiple offers coming in, that house is selling for over listing price. So it's over the listing price. I guess it depends on the house and how it's listed, but if it's competitively listed, it is going to probably sell for over listing price.
when there are multiple offers is very common.
Yep,
Yeah,
very common.
Now, there's one thing. Okay, I want to address days, because we're talking about days on the market.
Yes.
True story. A lot of agents and a lot of people look at days on the market, and they think, well, if it's been on for a really long time, I'm not even going to bother to look at it.
Actually, that's
there's
a
something
great
wrong with
yeah.
it. It's been on too long, and a lot of people won't even bother looking at something that's been on a long time. I had one that was on for a really long time. It had one picture, the outside, and no pictures of the inside. So people look at that and they say, oh, it must be hideous inside. I'm not even going to bother with it. And so this was the case of one, and my buyer said, let's take a look at it. We looked at the inside. It was absolutely fantastic. It needed a little bit of updating, and it was a great deal. They ended up buying it. They got it for a super great deal.
That's awesome.
And it was
they
only
happen.
because nobody else looked at it. It had
Right.
been on the market for too long, and the
Yep.
agent only took a picture of the inside, of the outside. They got a really good deal.
Always be as a buyer and a seller. if you're really wanting to sell as a seller, be a little flexible. If you're really wanting to buy as a buyer, you have to also be a little flexible. And maybe it isn't perfect in some way, shape, or form, but you can work with Robin or myself or Josh or someone to make it the way you want it. And that's some tips for you on that. And then once you find the home, you write an offer, you negotiate to get it accepted. And then I got to get Ben in on here, Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance, because he's awesome and he's helping us out. We just
You're going to need insurance.
We just got a minivan. And my wife and I are expecting our third in about 2 to 3 weeks. And we got a minivan. We broke down and love it. Actually, the thing drives like a gem. I'm amazed at the technology and the ability in those. But what's the step that you have to have when you're buying, right, Ben?
Well, you have to have insurance on it to close. The mortgage company is going to require that. And what we run into a lot of times is the buyer asks us, how come the reconstruction cost in the house is lower than we're buying the house for?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, and the big thing is we're only insuring the house. Sure, we have liability over the land, but we're not insuring the land for what it's worth.
That makes sense. So if you're buying a house, it's $225,000, and the land value is $50,000.
Right. Well, we might be coming in at $175,000 or $200,000.
Yep.
And then the bank is going to require us to have enough coverage to cover the loan. So what we have is we have something called extended replacement.
The 25%.
Yep. So we're going to rebuild for 125% of what we have it insured for.
Of what you have it insured
So
for.
if we have it insured for $100,000 total loss, we're going to give you $125,000 to make sure that you have enough to cover that loan. A lot of other times is when people are buying a foreclosed home or getting a really good deal, the reconstruction cost is way higher, and they're asking, well, aren't we paying too much
still seeing that?
just to cover our loan? Not right now, we're not.
Right.
Not right now, we're not seeing that.
So Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance. Find him on our Facebook page, Stockwell Roueche Show, or our website, tcrealestatehour.com. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
We'll be back with more.
With Ben.
Baby steps are all I got. This is how we do it.
Holy cow.
Everybody's jamming in here. We love this.
This is some good music, yeah.
Sunday morning, folks. This is awesome.
Break out the Running Man.
Yeah. Or the Alien Disco.
I am Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh Roueche, Remax Advantage Plus.
Stockwell Roueche Show every Sunday at 10 a.m. And this is how we do it. We have Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance, Robin Hartle Design and Style, and Remax Results Agent, and then Stephanie Havel. Stephanie wants to give out her phone number so you can contact her. Actually, no, she wants to give out her NMLS number.
Oh, sorry, you can check me out on Facebook. Sure, yeah. My NMLSR number 400890.
Nice.
Perfect. So, Stephanie, that is a number for Stephanie.
My NMLS number, not my phone
You can
number.
find her on Facebook as well. We'll have
That's
a picture.
Stephanie Havel, HAV as in Victor. Yeah.
There she goes.
We'll have
She is
everybody.
single. No.
We'll have everybody's picture on Facebook too. You can see, you'll see all of us, and you can reach out to us.
Sans the headphones, though.
Yeah.
Gonna not work
No,
with my hair,
still
too.
good. You look good.
No, we'll do a
Okay.
picture after without
Okay,
the
perfect.
headphones. So,
Let's just clarify. Okay.
so A to Z, buying a home, and tips for you and buying a home, and we got through the part where you
Insurance.
let's go back to the beginning though. One, you go online, you set up a good search, reach out, to pre-approval.
90% of the time you're online looking. Next step would be either you talk to a real estate agent who points you to a lender, and you talk to a lender, find out what you're pre-approved for or what steps you need to take to get pre-approved.
Yep.
Then once you get that pre-approval process, then you've got the golden ticket, which is a pre-approval. You go back with your real estate agent and you start looking for homes.
And you can go to those resources like www.wellsfargo.com/first home.
There we go.
Tons of resources if you
And
research
then-
it. And then you
got to
put an
talk to an
offer.
insurance agent
Then
because
you get
have to
accepted
insure the
offer,
property.
and then you insure the property.
Right.
Yep. And then
Well, let's finish up with Ben on the insurance side, because I think you had a few more things that you probably would like to talk about a little bit. I know that there's townhomes, which you probably need to get a renter's policy on. There's single-family homes. There's condos. Let's talk a little bit about types of insurance that you're going to need for these type of properties.
So condos, that's where condos, that's where it can get kind of confusing at times because there's so many different master policies out there, what the association is going to cover, what's going to not. I'm working with one lady right now where the association doesn't cover anything on the townhome. So she's on the hook for the roof, siding, everything
wow.
like that.
Wow, that's weird.
90% of the time, you're going to see the association take over that kind of stuff. So in that case, we're going to write it like a regular homeowner's policy or like a standalone single-family home. Another example on a townhome policy is you're responsible just for the inside. Those policies are going to be extremely cheap, couple $200-300 a year, but you got to remember you're only covering the studs in or the sheetrock in.
Yep.
So you really don't have nearly the risk as you do in insuring the entire building.
Nice.
What do you
So-
see for a deductible amount? What is something on average somebody would want for their homeowner's insurance deductible?
Right now, a lot of $1,500 to $2,500 just because insurance rates are going. You get to keep your rates down. Right now, you have to be able to self-insure a little more rather than carrying a $500 deductible. I like to see people carry a little bit higher deductible. Reason being, it's going to lessen the risk of claims happening, which is going to help keep the entire industry's insurance rates down. Right now in Minnesota, we've been hit pretty hard the last 5 years. So right now, Minnesota insurance rates industry-wide are kind of on the rise because we have to come back and we have to make
Cover
money
the costs,
too.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is farmers pretty competitive as far as your deductibles and your rates?
Yeah, right now
Okay.
we are just because we took rate earlier than a lot of companies, so it's starting to catch back up to us now where other companies are seeing these bigger rate increases that we took 2 or 3 years ago. So it's making us look really good because we've got a really hot product right now where we can come in a lot lower on price for a lot of people.
Nice.
Very
How
nice.
often do you have to review your insurance policy? Like every 6 months, or how often should your customers be checking in with you to make sure they still have the right coverage?
I
or-
wouldn't say every 6 months. That's pretty quick. A home policy is a 12-month policy, so usually you want to check it once a year, once every other year. A lot of stuff doesn't change in that first year, but 2 years down the road, things can change quite a bit. Especially if, like we were talking earlier, if you're doing updates to your house.
Addition, a pool in the backyard.
Well, if you update your kitchen,
Get
the old
married.
one, it might be worth $50,000 more. You're going to want to make sure you have $50,000 more coverage on your house.
Yeah, that's one thing that people probably don't remember or do not always check in on is their homeowners insurance when they're doing a renovation because it's not top of mind.
Right.
The top of mind is, hey, what am I doing to my home?
Right.
And the value that I'm getting out of it, and then making sure that I get that coverage on that.
And the new thing is when you do a update or renovation to your house, a lot of times it might actually end up saving you money on your insurance. So if you put something in like a new furnace, redo your plumbing, electricity, new roof is the big one. You put a new roof on your house, your insurance rates are going to go down because in Minnesota, that's the number one risk on a homeowner's insurance is the roof because it's exposed 4 seasons out of the year. Well,
Yep.
if you're in a southern state, you only really get hit once a year, and the storms aren't nearly as severe.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That makes sense.
So the next thing is about this whole process, the 5-step process, is you get pre-approved, you find a home, you get a home accepted, then comes the closing. And that closing is when you're working with a title company, a title agency. They do a background on the house, make sure all the liens are covered, any pending assessments are taken off the property, and they're going to be billed to the seller. So when you actually take over the home, you'll get it free and clear title. Now, that's what the title company's job is, and that's who me and Jason work with several different title companies that do a very good job on doing that. There's a lot of title companies out there, so that's something that you can actually choose yourself, or you can have a real estate agent choose for you. But they do a very good job, and that the whole purpose of that is to make sure that you are getting free and clear title when you take over the home. And then the closing. Now, at the closing, closings are great. I love closings, not just because that's where everybody gets their commissions check, but closings are great because of all the paperwork.
Yeah, right.
There's a ton of paperwork, and just be prepared. Do your hand exercises because you're probably going to sign about 300 forms, and they're long. They can take long.
Nope.
Sometimes the lenders are getting things back and forth. Just be prepared. And I know I've had closings where I've sat there and bounced kids on my knees for hour at a time, and just be prepared because I know it's a process. But at the end of it, just think that you are getting your keys at the table. You're getting ready to move into your home. It's a great feeling once you walk out of that closing, knowing that, hey, I just walked away through this whole process that we just talked about today on the show. And and I'm walking away with a beautiful home for me and my family.
It's when your house becomes a home.
Right.
Yeah, there's one piece in there also that I just want to add, and that's the inspection, which
Yep.
I think is really an important piece too.
The eye, yes.
Definitely the inspection, and I think that's super, super important when you first, when your offer is accepted on the house, that you have
An inspection contingency.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the inspection contingency, and you get the, you hire an inspector, and your real estate agent has a lot of competent inspectors that you can ask your agent for a referral, or if you know somebody, but definitely take advantage of that inspection and get that home inspected.
It's important because that a lot of times you put down what we call an earnest money check, earnest money deposit. Now, if something comes back on that inspection that you do not like, that, hey, this came up and that's going to cost us a lot of money to fix that up, you have two choices. A, you can have to see if the seller will actually take care of that cost for you, or you will have to take care of that. And if you do not want to take care of that, now's the time where you sign the cancellation, you get your earnest money back.
Yep.
Because that inspection, that saves you from moving forward on the home. And that's important to do that. I advise all, and I'm sure you do too, and
Yep.
Robin, you too, to make sure you do get that
Very few
inspection.
circumstances where you wouldn't, but otherwise, majority of the time, yeah, you always
Do you recommend it for new construction? An inspection?
Not necessarily. You've got that new home construction law that's out
Right.
there.
Yeah,
So-
that one is an example that might be up to the
Right.
homeowner if they really want.
What about as is?
If it's as is sale? Then you still can do an
You still
inspection.
do it. I would still do it.
Yeah, you still do an
You still do
inspection
it.
on that.
That way, you still know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's an as-is sale and you know that you can't go back to them, you still at least know what you're getting into.
It's the information that you were after. So thank you, Stephanie Havel, Wells Fargo,
Thank you,
for being
Stephanie.
here.
you,
Robin
Ben.
Hartle,
Thanks for having
being
me.
here. Ben, thanks for being here. You'll find us on tcrealestatehour.com, on Facebook, on Stockwell Roueche. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
Josh O'Shea, Remax Advantage Plus.
Remember, love yourself and love others.